Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on seconds, minutes and hours. In this video we will take a closer look at the units of time on a clock or watch. We will also look at the most appropriate units that are used to measure different activities. We must know that 60 seconds equals 1 minute and 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Common time sayings. There are many common time sayings that are used in everyday life, and the following are just a few examples. I'll be there in a minute. Wait a minute. Just a second. In a moment. Just a sec, etc. The units of time used in the above sayings are not meant to be taken literally. They give us an indication that it won't be too long before something happens. Activities measured in seconds. So in everyday life there are many activities that we do that are measured in seconds. Now here's the first example, blowing out birthday candles. That would only take a few seconds to do. Shaking hands with someone. That only takes a few seconds. Activities measured in minutes. Having a cup of tea, that could take 5 or so minutes, even up to 10 minutes if you take your time. So you definitely use minutes to measure that. And having a shower, if you just have a normal shower, that could take 5 minutes or so. So those two activities are measured in minutes. Activities measured in hours. So when you sleep at night, you normally sleep, say, between 8 or 10 hours on average. So you would use hours to measure how long you sleep. And a swimming carnival, that might go for a number of hours, say 3 or 4 hours. For each of the following activities, write down whether the duration would be seconds, minutes or hours. So what do you think the most common time would be for having a snack? Now a snack means it's something light. It might be a little biscuit or a little sandwich. You know, something that doesn't take too long. Would it be seconds, minutes or hours? And I think you are correct if you write minutes. Of course that would be right. So let's do minutes for short, M-I-N. Drinking coffee. So if you have a cup of coffee, would that take seconds, minutes or hours? And if you said minutes, you would be correct. That's the most likely time. Running a marathon. Now given that a marathon is over 40 kilometres, you certainly wouldn't run it in a certain number of seconds or minutes. It's more likely you would take over 2 hours to do that, and depending on how good you are, you might even take over 3 hours. So we use hours to measure the length of time to run a marathon. Counting to 10, if you do that in just a normal period of time, say going 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., that would only take seconds, wouldn't it? So SEC for short, so that would be seconds. Going for a short walk, it might be just, you know, up the road and back or a little bit longer. How do you think you'd measure that? I'm sure you would understand that that would be measured in minutes. Writing your name, so just your normal name or your signature, certainly wouldn't take hours, would it? And you don't need a few minutes to do that. So you would do that in a number of seconds, I think. So you use seconds to write your name. And turning the tap off, say you have a water tap that's on, how long do you think that would take to turn off? You certainly wouldn't take minutes or hours, would it? That would also take a number of seconds. There we go. And I'm sure you understand all that and you would have got all those correct. So this video has looked at the units of time, seconds, minutes and hours. And we've just looked at activities which last for different durations of time using those measurements.